Good morning. This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm still on Vulcan in the brutal mode. I had a couple cable and, well, not really power outages, but cable outages. So I apologize if it took a little bit longer. Made a lot of progress, did some things behind the scenes, and so we'll go ahead and get started. First thing you see is I put another door there, and I'm going to go out and mine a little bit. A lot of this is mining. I tried to remove a lot of the mining, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm increasing my power because I'm getting ready to set up an air conditioner during this run, the beginnings of it, and an oxygen refiller. So this is a big episode. I'm also getting ready to do trading. There's a few things. So here I'm just wiring up this new satellite, or new satellite, new solar. Making sure I put the glass on. I couldn't remember. All right. So now it's time to go mining, and I could edit this out. Fast forward past it, I guess, but kind of important. Maybe I'll stop talking while this and cut some of it out. So if it sounds like you're missing some talking, which it probably are. I'm not sure what I did. Oh, I decided to do inside work here. I'm just going to wait and let you see what I'm doing here. Notice I put, somebody suggested I could put a power controller on that vent. I did do that. For my furnace, I should say. So this is where I'm getting ready to set the filter up in the back room so I can refill my oxygen tank without, for now anyway, without sticking it in the big tank, because that was starting to get a little low. It was only giving me about 45 or so. And of course, if you look at this, I'm like, well, it's dark. I want to do this in the dark, so if I take that out, I'm like, crap, I can't see a damn thing. So I put it back on. I struggled with this for a few minutes. I'm like, okay, there's the tank thing. So I can't keep my suit on. I should have made a tank, maybe. I can't keep my suit on and keep the light on. I should have made a spare tank, and I didn't. Now I'm wandering around, well, how do I see what I'm doing? I'm trying to turn this on. I'm like, this just isn't going to work. And I put this back on without the tank, and it starts to holler at me. I take it back up and said, okay, there's the tank. This is pretty disorganized here. It's almost embarrassing. But now I got the tank back on, so I can put my suit back on, so I could turn the switch on, which is over here. And notice I didn't notice that it wasn't running. So I put the tank in. Do this all over again. Put the tank in, and I'm watching it. It's not filling. I'm like, why isn't it filling? Why isn't it filling? I'm like, well, something's wrong. Let's do this all over again. Something's wrong. I'm like, the switches. Oh,
Waste tank caution.
idiot. So I just wasted about 2 minutes there. Sort of, kind of. You gotta hang out in this room anyway. Now it's running. Now I can take this off. And I guess it's the light, because now I can see. the light from the, and there we go, it's filling up pretty quick actually. The light, maybe the light from that? I don't know, maybe it's daytime out now. Hard to tell in here. So now I'm releasing some more air from my tank. I'm going to get it up to about 90 kPa in here. And it lowers the temperature, that's a good thing. But the temperature climbs up pretty quick because every time I dump my waste tank in here, it goes up a little bit. So that's why later in this episode I'm getting ready to hook up an AC that of course I'm only going to be able to run at night. But I'll get some minor cooling out of it. It won't be earth-shattering, but I only need a few degrees. Once you get to 50 Celsius, you can no longer breathe. And you can see how fast that filled up. I was quite happy about that. And I turned it off. Then I vented this, and you can watch the temperature go up a couple degrees. And then I'm like, well, I got 90 psi, that's enough. And of course I start closing it, and I start opening it because I'm at a terrible angle. And I got it. And I still have almost megapascal and a half in there, so that wasn't too shabby. One thing I do forget to do here, I believe, is refill my waste tank. I don't know if I catch it. Now, right now, because I ran that, and it's still nighttime, I've got a little bit of a battery issue here that I'm trying to figure out. They are charging, but I'm just making sure all my batteries are good. And yeah, I say I'd like to swap that one out, but then I remember, and it's way at the top. Got to find it. It's off the screen, and
critical.
That's not going up. I'm like, dadgummit, I didn't turn the regulator valve on. I could just leave that on at this point, I guess, because the everything's charging pretty good. So I figured I'll wait a little bit, see if things charge. And I'll put that in there. Now that one's fully charged. It's because that was trying to figure out if things are charging or where I'm at here. Making sure that's all. Everything's good in here. I'm just puttering around at this point because, see there you can see I hooked up my spare water tank that I had that from the beginning, that little insulated container. It only has 12 liters in it, which is not a whole ton of water. Maybe 15 drinks, I would estimate. And I've lost another cereal bar. And there goes my box of cereal bars. I still got like 6 of those, so not too bad of a deal. There we go. I got 6 there. It looked too fast, I couldn't see, but I got a few there. And this is charging. So waiting, and then I'm like, I gotta get that taken care of. Because I want to do mining. And I can't do mining very well without the suit. So I'm still, this is the first time I've used this, so I'm making sure, being extra careful that I don't screw anything up there. It's all manual at this point. And I could turn that off because that's been running. Don't switch it. Don't switch it. There you go. Turn that on. And of course I got to run back in here. It still says no, so I'm okay. I can just pop the door. And every time I do this, now my bags blow out. I'm like, ugh. The battery's still not completely charged, but that's going up now anyway. Oh, there we go. So now I can swap it up to a fresh battery. Let me check everything. I only really use 1 or 2 other devices. I use the drill sometimes, the grinder, as you can see, and of course the mining. I can't wait to get the tool printer. I literally don't have any room right now. I'm going to have to expand once I get another food source and a water source, which I'm getting ready to set up trading. I don't think I quite get to it in this episode, but I'll get it mostly ready anyway. And just killing time till that fills. Now, it's better to fill that jetpack in the morning or in the evening when the temperatures are cooler, because you get more molds of air in there. Filling it in the heat of the day makes it not last quite as long. Again, here I'm just killing time. Yeah, okay, we're all good there. 4,000. So I just stand here and watch this for a little bit because I got nothing else to do. You keep an eye on the temperature in here. Every time I go in here, it's a little higher. That's why I'm like, I got to get the AC running here. 30 is certainly no issue. But, you know, it slowly goes up. And I'd rather get that all set up and make sure it's working before it gets in the 40s. Because, you know, 50, like I said, 50 is too hot. You can't breathe in here. I should get the atmospherics. I haven't done this yet to see what level of oxygen I have in this room. I still got more in the tank, so it's not a big deal. I was going to set up the trading and thinking about that. I want to get some oxide. Well, I need a refrigerated vending machine. You know how hard it's going to be? I think I'm going to have to directly shoot the oxide from the vending machine into an ice crusher, because if I pick it up, it's going to blow up in my hand. So, you know, you can't carry it around. So if I get a refrigerated vending machine, I'll hook chutes up to it, hook it up to a ice crusher, and then I'm going to have to separate the nitrogen out unless I put a nitrogen filter in my suit, which I could do. It's not out of the question, but then that's another filter that you kind of have to keep your eye on. I could have probably stopped this at this point, but if you're mining, this thing goes down like crazy, especially if you're working in craters and stuff. It drops like a rocket. So I want to get it as full as I can. I don't remember how far I go. Eventually I just get tired of waiting around, I think. But again, this is a voiceover, so. Okay, so now I'm like 8th close enough. And it kind of stopped going up at that point anyway. I'm not sure why. Now, another interesting about Vulcan, if you have air in the other room and you accidentally do this out of order, you're going to blow your base up. So every time I do this, I'm very cautious to get like all the oxygen out of here. I don't feel like, you know, it's just one square here. And this is not a really good way of doing this. I have it jutting out into the room. It's just the way it worked at this point. And again, I should just leave that on. You see the temperature in here is nil, so there's no problem. I'm going to do some gold now. Gold's easy to do. You don't even need to turn anything on. You just throw it in there and it bursts into flame and melts. That's one good thing about Vulcan. You could use this furnace pretty easily. I just did make a whole bunch more. I'm pretty sure I've already made it. We'll maybe see here in a second. But anyway, I've made some electrum and I think I'm looking at it now. Is there Oh, there it is. Yeah, I made electrum and solder already. Pretty easy to make both of those. They're just, for solder, you just open it up at night and turn it on for a couple seconds, and as soon as you get the pressure, the temperature's good. And now I'm just killing a little bit of time towards daylight, and I got quite a ways to go yet. And this is all my landing pad stuff that I've made, and I'm deciding, well, I could start getting things set up. I actually made too many landing pads. I wasn't paying close attention as I should have, and I think I made like just 2 extra, I guess, maybe 3. Now, every time I open the doors, these things fly around, so at this point I'm trying to figure out what can I do with those. I don't want to waste them by smelting them. I guess I could do the nickel, but the other ones I might want to use somewhere. Now I'm thinking I really need to bring the other manufacturing thing out here, and this is really getting tight, and because of the way I got the doors set up, eventually I'll expand. I just want to get everything going here before I expand anywhere. Looking outside, no, still got some daylight left. Until you get oxygen going freely, you do not want to go outside in the heat. The last video I did, if you watched it, you survive somewhere between 11 minutes and 14 minutes from a full tank to just dying outside. You don't have any time. You don't have the oxygen to waste. So you just don't go outside during the day. It's just nothing you can do. Now I have insulated or put all the pipes out of the oxygen room, so there's no uninsulated pipes or non-insulated pipes, however you say that, in the oxygen room, sticking through the walls. So that should not be an issue. And I'm getting ready to go outside. I think I might jump the gun a little bit on this one, but not too bad. And unfortunately, there is quite a bit of waiting around on Vulcan. There's just, you do what you can, and then you hang loose. Donut dark. Do 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 do. I wasn't happy with the way those 2 doors work, but like I said, eventually I'm just going to expand this out. I wanted to get some kind of airlock in the oxygen room so I could start filtering the air. At this point, I think I'm close enough. The first thing I do is look down at temperature, 190. That's not too bad. It is going down. So, and here we go. I run out here, and let's get my landing pad set up. Now I thought about this. I haven't tried it yet. I'm hoping I gave myself enough room. I just did. I want a 3x3, and there's my working area. I could have saved myself some trouble by doing this a little bit different, but I didn't think of it, so. So I'll just open this up. Now I made a 4x3 because obviously I need the satellite dish and all the other equipment. That is mandatory. And I find the center, make sure it's landing the right way so it doesn't collide into the mountain, and then I just put down blank ones on. I don't know if it doesn't use power with the blank ones or not. Now this is what I'm talking about. I put this right up against the wall and put all my equipment on the far side. I could have saved myself a little bit of trouble by possibly putting these along the base. And it could have saved me a little bit of cabling anyway. Where, there it is. I think I need sheets, not plastic. There we go, iron. And then some cables. I went through a lot of cables doing this, more than I anticipated. Now, I'm not quite ready yet anyway, because I don't have the computer made. This is all preliminary. I'm thinking, do I want to make this stuff? Nah. Let's go do some mining. Smart thing to do. So I just want to get anything close because I don't know how much time I have left. You know, I just start hacking away here for a few minutes. I do find some good little veins. I don't know if it's this time or the next one, but I do find a couple pretty good veins and things to mine. You want to get under the craters because once you start, you know, in the hot spots, that's when you really start finding stuff. This ended up being pretty good nickel vein, or I'm sorry, copper vein. Probably wasting time at this point. So I think I told myself, I'm like, okay, there's nothing more here. Get out of here. Stop playing around. And again, looking at the temperature as I'm flying, it's still... Oh, here's where I'm like, oh, here's some coal. And I don't need coal at the time, but you don't find it. So when I find it, I end up mining it because it's just so hard to find them open, and this one actually turns out to be a really good one. I'm like, yep, I'll just keep taking it, and I keep finding more and more, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And then there's some iron. I said, well, I'll take that too. And there's some more coal. Trying to get to the iron, and it's a little too narrow. This is why you need your jetpack. When I am flying now, you can watch how it goes down. It goes down like crazy. If you don't remember to refill that, you're not going to get much mining in. And it's still 126, so we got more time. This turns out to be a really hefty iron, Travis, if I remember right. Iron and copper. And then I think I find some more coal in here too. I'm like, look at this, more coal. I'll take it. Coal mixed in with iron and copper. Doesn't get much better than that. I'm like, man, look at all this. I'm thinking, do I want to keep mining coal? I got 50. There's a copper hidden down in here. And I'm like, oh, more coal. I might as well just take the coal. Yep. And I'm looking over here, I'm like, look at all this coal. Like, it's like, you never find coal, and all of a sudden, in this mining one, like, there's coal everywhere. Now I'm thinking, it might be getting late in the day. Peak up here, 180, yep. Time to probably think about going back. 90, temperature goes up like a rocket ship. And you see, I went through at 30 and I was at 8, so I went through 5 megapascals in my jetpack doing that. Trying to think what steps I need to do. I'd like to evacuate the air in here as fast as I can, because at those temperatures it really sucks the oxygen out of your suit. Now, that accidentally went in. I heard a clunk, and I'm like, well, what was that? And I guess when I turned the vent on, it sucked my rolling lead into the furnace. Luckily, it didn't suck something else in. Now I'm like, I need to pick this stuff up. I can't have this stuff rolling around like that. I don't want it to get pulled in the furnace and give me junk reagents. So here again, we're at 0 kPa, but the temperature's still 174. But it's time to do the routine. I'm not at nil, so I turn this on. Square room, it goes down pretty quick. Open that, of course, there goes all my stuff again. And I remembered to turn my regulator on, so that's going to be okay. It's daytime, so I should be able to see. Eat and drink. It gives me 93. I'm like, it's good enough. Anytime I can go all day without opening up another bottle of water. Alright, open my suit. Drain that. There goes the temperature again. 3 or 4 degrees. I'm looking at that thinking, yeah, I gotta do something about this. Because the warmer the air is that you're breathing, the faster you breathe it. It's another thing you gotta think about. And that filled up really fast. I'm like, boy, that's working really well. Here's what I'm thinking. Well, I gotta get this out of here. Because I want to put an AC there. And I want all my manufacturing to be in the same spot. I should have really closed my suit because that's really disrupting my normal flow here. Okay, so that's all done. I'm like, here's an extra cable. That's not ready yet. I'm like, well, my hand's full. I always use cables, and then I try and do this, and I screw this up. Check my suit batteries. Like I said, it's a daily routine. Vulcan Brutal mode. I'm thinking, let's see, gotta wait for that. Now, I've only filled the 2 bottles out of my water reserves. I haven't drank any of it yet, so I just wanted all that to be ready. Alright, so we're done in here. I forget my suit. And you'll notice I don't have my suit on. And I start sucking the oxygen out. I'm like, oh crap.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Pressure
I
critical.
almost killed myself.
Oxygen critical. Temperature
And
critical.
it's nil.
Low pressure.
Give it a couple extra seconds. And you can pop it open. And now that's been draining in here forever, so that should be nil. You can turn that off. Now, I'm going to stick this thing over here. And this is really tight, like I said. But, kind of have to do this. Close that. I'm going to weld, so I have to turn this on. Keep the hot temperatures out of here as best I can. See, it shoots up to 2,000 degrees. It's insane. Try and do all this as fast as possible, so. And again, it's no air, but it's 1900 degrees. I just think that's a little screwy. How can you have temperature without air? But it is what it is. And now I'm saying, well, let's go ahead and do some smelting. This is just so easy on Vulcan. You just chuck the stuff in and it spits it out the other side. You let some air go through. And throw in the ores. That's all you got to do. And there they go. All that day's mining. All wrapped up already. Except for the coal. I don't want to do anything with the coal right now. In case I run out of steel. Now I need steel sheets to finish up my landing platforms. That's what I'm working on here. And I like to keep my ores together. It does make for some running around, but then you don't have to kind of look. Yep, I'm at 0. Save power. Although it's not really too bad of an issue right now. You can see it's pretty tight in there, but you can fit. It's not so bad. I'm not claustrophobic. I'm a submariner when I was in the Navy, so I didn't mind tight spaces. It's nice not to have to worry about that crazy oxygen tank, where I used to vent the oxygen into the pipes in that room. I kept forgetting to take the pipe off, and then the warm air would go in there. Now, I'm getting pretty close to the point where I want to start making some IC chips and automating things. That's one of the reasons I wanted to make solder. I haven't gotten there yet. I'd kind of like to get an extra tank of water and maybe, a can of food or two. And I'm probably going to have to do some mining because I got to make money. I have 200 credits that you start with. So you have to sell some stuff. Although I think cans of food around 30 or 40 credits. So you can get food pretty easy. I don't know what water is. I don't remember. And there's my list of ores. I'm not doing too bad ore-wise, keeping up with the mining. I didn't show too much of it. I gotta get this stuff out of my hands. Speaking of mining, I'm like, I really don't want all this in my mining. Maybe if I put it in the corner there. And here's where I'm making my computer, and I'm like, oh, I need silver. Do I have silver anywhere? And I'm looking, wait, you're carrying it. I'm like, I had silver. What did I do with it? Oh yeah, it's in my hand. And again, all you got to do is throw it in there. The temperature's high enough, it'll melt it and spit it right out. Now I have never had any flame outs. I'm sure that cowl on the outside is spitting out flames every time I do that, but that's okay. I haven't had any negative impacts anywhere. Now that's 2 megapascals of hot oxygen probably mixed with some other stuff, but it's not much I can do with the hot oxygen. I would love to save it and cool it, but I'm a long ways from that point yet. I found some miscellaneous solder in there. The roly-poly ores can be a pain. And I think this is just more waiting. What am I making here? That's what I'm asking myself. What am I making here? Ah, the air conditioner. And of course, all the ores are over here. Or ingots. I always say ores. You know what I mean. And of course, I didn't grab anything I needed. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. The ones that you don't need come out first. There we go. So there's my AC printing. Now I kind of forgot to do the vents. I have pipes in there, and I'm thinking, well, I don't need any pipes. But I forgot to do the vent, and I'm like, you idiot. The 2 passive vents that I need to put in there. And I even make the radiators. Try it with 3, we'll see how that works. Might need more, I don't know. Like I said, I don't need a ton of cooling, but I do need some cooling. Not sure exactly how this is going to work with an AC unit in there. But so this is just productive time. Waiting to be able to go outside. I won't do this now. I'll do it when I. And as I'm throwing that corner, I'm like, oh good, that'll keep those oars in position. I like to keep that closed because it warms up quite a bit if it's open during the day, which doesn't really matter, but I drop all my other ores there. And it's starting to get dark. I'm like, don't rush it. Alright, I would just drop the glass there when I'm done, and now I'm going to go up here and just finish up getting this ready for next episode. And I want to do the computer, and I'm thinking, well, that's the wrong way. It's a good spot. I don't know if this is going to interfere with some things, but you know, sometimes if you rotate the disc, you can't hit buttons and things because the disc is in the way. Their satellite dish. And I thought I had enough cables, but I ended up being a few short. Which is not too big of a deal, but... And of course it's in the wrong machine again. And I leave these laying here because it's daytime, and I was so worried I was going to kick one of them out the door and lose it or something. But I did just leave them lay there. I'm trying to think how exactly I'm going to get the power out there. Now I have a power controller. I don't hook it up yet. I could turn everything off and on at once that way. And I'm having trouble getting to the single curve one. There we go. That should be enough. Okay, so that's all hooked up. Should be ready to go. But it's nighttime, so... I know I don't have much time, so I'm just going to hop around and find what I can find. Wasn't much in this one, if I remember right. There's a lot of nickel here. I don't know why there's so much nickel. That's a standard thing for Vulcan or not, but I remember there was some gold up here somewhere, and I was hoping there it is. And I figured I might as well come up here and spend a little bit of time. And then I look down here and I'm like, look at all this iron. This is a good little vein. But gold's always hard to find, so we'll get the gold first. This temperature's 130 now. A lot of times that's your jetpack. Because I almost dropped it there. I was like, ooh, that was close. Lots of iron down in this little spot. Almost hated it. Started warming up. I almost hated to leave here because this is a pretty good little spot. And of course, you'll never find it again. Looks like the temperature is starting to tick up, so. That was a pretty good trip. This is the one I'm starting to see, 148. I'm like, yep, time to go. And I'm way up here in the mountains. Now, jetpack down, I could have just fallen, I guess, a little quicker. As long as you hit the jetpack to stop your master fall. 150, that's not too bad a temperature. I got in there at a reasonable temperature anyway. things ready for inside there. And load up the AC unit. And I load up the regulators, but then I'm thinking, well, I don't need those. So very carefully, here you go. And of course, there goes all my stuff again. And we go through the routine. Fill in the oxygen tank. Which doesn't take long, surprisingly, at all. Fill in the jetpack. Used another
Jetpack critical.
5 megapascals. That crazy thing builds up fast. So it's 38 in here. I'm thinking that temperature's going up fast. I gotta open this, so 38, and that takes it to 39. Every time I do that, it goes up by 1 or 2. Still haven't used up all my water supply. Here goes another cereal bar. Part of one anyway. Alright, battery. Oh, look at that. Fully charged. Do the normal battery routine. Check my mining. Check my drill. That one I didn't use. But I did use the grinder. I don't know if I checked that or not. I'm awful anxious to get the AC down. It's always nice to be able to do something constructive inside. It doesn't always happen. Yeah, I think that'll work. Need pipes which are behind me here somewhere. There they are. And this works out pretty well because the power side is right by that cable. Though I have to, why did I grab the wrench? I don't want the wrench. I went to the clippers. Nope. Screwdriver. How many times do you make an air conditioner? Give me a break. And I'm looking out. I only have one cable. Oh, look. I only need one cable. It's kind of cool. So that's hooked up. Now, this is where I realized, oh, you idiot, I don't have the vents. And I'm also thinking I can't use regular pipes on the inside. I got to use insulated. So they don't work either. But it's a good start. Got it set up. That's full. I could take that out of there. I've already got all my battery work done. I'm like, well, I was going to set the temperature, but I don't want to turn it on. It's only going to error out anyway. You know, I need an exhaust vent there for the input. There's the waste that's going to have to go outside. I'm thinking, well, I'm just wasting time here again. So this is going to end here in about a minute. So pretty good progress. I got the landing pad set up. I can go out there and fire that up. And, excuse me. I can also make the remnant of the AC unit, hook that up outside, maybe do a little mining, and that'll be on the next episode. So we'll see you then. Standing here thinking, I guess I should just end this. There we go. Save it first. I could cut this out, I guess. That's it. Y'all have a good evening. Remember to like and subscribe.